Here we are with yet another experiment of the Kodiak. The test here today is to see how long the Kodiak can power, not these two fans that are running right now, but more importantly, how long it can power a typical 100-watt appliance, as these two fans are demonstrating now. Together, they're doing 100 watts. This is a Vernado, this is a Honeywell. The Kodiak I started all full charge, pretty full. It was at 12.42 volts, which is pretty full. I mean, I've seen it go up to as high as 12.66 on solar and as high as 12.43 on AC charge from your 110 outlet, 120 outlet. So these are the most consistent wattage appliances I can come up with that can get close to 100 watts consistently, and these are fluctuating no more than 2 watts from 100 watts, mostly below 100 watts, 97 to 100, but it's pretty consistent, pretty stable. So this will be a good example. You know, a laptop or a cell phone is not consistent. You know, they have peaks and lows and averages. So this is like stable 100 watts primarily, or consistently. So I don't know how many hours this is gonna run. I mean, y'all can do the math and figure it out, but man, funk that. I'm gonna do it real world, so that way people know for sure. You know, they don't need no numbers. You got two fans about this size. Here's my hands. This is about how big my hand is compared to each one of these fans. So these are pulling at high, at medium for this one, high for this one, because if this one I put it at high, it would be over 100 watts combined. So at 100 watts, this Kodiak is pumping approximately 100 watts. It's at 97, 0.8, and it's pretty much stable around 96 to 98. I've never seen it go over 100. So, and the Kodiak's not being charged by anything. As you can see, there's nothing around there except for these two plugs. So this is going to be a good test for those who have 100-watt appliances, which typically your laptop can pull 100 watts, somewhat less, 65 watts something. If you got a laptop or two laptops, you're pulling around 100 watts, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe a laptop and a cell phone. I don't know. I've already tested these two Max Air fans. That was a previous video. These, I know they work, and they're on AC right now connected to the Kodiak, but I want to see if 100 watts, how long can 100 watts pump out of the Kodiak before it goes dead? So it's going to be some hours. I just don't know how many. Now these Max Air fans did 19 hours on high for a full charge, approximately 12.25 volts, which I started the test from. So these are real world, are going to be put in a van. These are just to simulate 100 watts consistently. So that's what the test today is going to prove, and I'll come back with the results of the Kodiak. We are approaching 10 hours for the testing of the Kodiak to see if how much 100 watts worth of power being generated by these two fans here. Total, including the inverter powered by the Kodiak itself, internally, we were pulling 100 watts approximately. However, now we're down to 2 bars. See, the watts seems to be a little less, more like 93, but it was 98, 97, fluctuating. But as the Kodiak gets low in power, as you see here, 2 bars left, which is like less than 20% before it dies, the wattage seems to go down a little bit. I think the fans may have slowed down a tad, but it's going to die soon. Maybe in the next 30 minutes or less. We're at 9.21 volts on the Kodiak, and it says we're utilizing 93.1 watt right now. So far we got about 10 hours for about 100 watts approximately, running continuously. This is what you can expect to get from running appliances that tally up to 100 watts, or maybe around about 100 watts, 10 hours or so. I'll let you know exactly how many hours I got, or minutes and hours I got for approximately 100 watts running these two fans here for testing purposes of the 100 watts. They were aligned very close together to pull 100 watts on the Kodiak. So we're down to 1 bar now, so it should be dying like probably any minute, or maybe within 30 minutes or so. We'll see. And once it dies, we'll have to reset the Kodiak. As you can see and hear, both fans have stopped spinning. They're still connected, but the battery power is at 9.18 volt. So it's not enough to power the fans, but it's enough to keep the Kodiak still on, until it gets too low where it shuts itself off completely as well. Then I have to reset it. So I'm gonna stop the test here because the fans aren't running anymore. We're at 9.18 volts, and I won't have to do the reset because it didn't actually cut off, but it stopped the voltage from going to the fans. It was pulling 100 watts approximately. It dipped down to like 93 watts, but it was hovering around 98 to watts approximately. So that's the end of this test. Now, the reason why I specifically chose 100 watts was because most people run a fan. If you don't have a AC or something cooler, you'll run a fan or a couple of fans, and you'll probably run a TV set or a laptop or a tablet or your cell phone and constantly keep charging or something. So it's a nice whole round number. Plus my this Kodiak has a 100 amp hour lithium battery, and at 100 watts with the solar panels in full sun, and I have two 100 watt solar panels. They were powering approximately 100 watts. These same two fans over here, approximately 100 watts continuously without losing battery power. So it was kind of like maintaining a balance of the battery stability and also powering this 100 watt appliances here with these two fans, representing these two fans. So that's why I chose 100 watts. That's the sweet spot, so I don't have to lose battery life, but I'm not really gaining battery life, and I'm still powering these devices. So that's why I chose 100 watts. So it's a pretty good round whole number for anybody else who's interested in powering approximately 100 watts or less. Just to give you a good gauge or a balance on whatever appliances you're powering that's 100 watts continuously. And these were on 24/7 for 10 hours. That's how long it took. All right. Until the next video, lean with it.